Hey, so today I think what we should go into is interpersonal relationships. I'll tell a little story about a friend. I'm 26 years old and we graduated high school in 2017. In high school, friends, we had a little group. It was surprising how much we stayed in contact. As I kept doing my work, I realized there would be a time where meaningful conversations with the individual I'm speaking of were to come into being. And it's kind of like the most beautiful thing. I said to him a few days ago, I've been ready to have these conversations for a long time. And what that really meant was just that I'm grateful that he's sharpening and continuously working on himself. And now he sees the value in having the conversations. When I first got into this work, I very much remember thinking that I was feeling so much better and then trying to get other people to hop on the train with me and being offended or hurt when they didn't watch the videos I shared with them, they didn't read the books I shared with them, etc. Yeah, the circle isn't big, it's a smaller circle. I didn't try to make it that way. I just kept doing my thing and the people who resonate with me find me. It's almost that simple. With this individual, I let go of wanting to have conversations. I let him come to me. I forgive. I let go. I don't hold on to my own resistance. I notice my own pettiness. The world's a mirror. So if you come across someone angry and they make you angry, kind of have to dissolve the anger. You don't fight fire with fire, okay? You be water, right? When you're angry, you have to shift to a new element. How do you do that? You first notice the current element that you are. Back to interpersonal relationships, where now we're having these conversations and it's like one of the most beautiful things in life is just listening. You could be alone in a room meditating, just listening. You'd be listening to certain vibrational music. You could be listening to Mozart, classical music. You'd be listening to lo-fi chill music, ambient music. Or you can listen to certain levels of rap music, like Wu-Tang. They got some high lyrical wisdom in some of their songs. But then maybe you go to someone like Lil Pump. You can just feel the quality of the lyrics. Sure, the beat's good, but the lyrics are just down the drain, right? So what I'm getting at here is obviously you've heard the quote, you are the sum of the people who you spend the most time with, right? But take that to another level and look at how what you consume stays in your mind, whether it be music, whether it be a YouTube video like this, whether it be a conversation that you had with a friend. We have to get real honest about the fact that we are creators, that we are source itself. And with that being said, it means we all have a cross to carry. You do not have to be Christian. Any religion attached to garbage. Why? Why garbage? Because it's a insecurity to have to hold on, right? It's like move with the change of life, or you are going to get dragged by life. So it's our duty, our responsibility to carry our cross and be responsible in relationship to the energy we create in ourselves, understanding that we have a ripple effect with this planet every moment that we live. Whether it be with the animals, you could be in the forest, you still have a ripple effect. A single awoken, high frequency, vibrating man or lady offsets millions of people stuck in self pity, anger, fear, greed. You living your life in alignment with truth, being the best that you can every day, physically, emotionally, mentally, in terms of your awareness, your observing of your thought. You living in alignment, it offsets. You neutralize so much lower vibrational energy when you do the work we're speaking of here. Conversing with other people, I was ready to have those conversations with Jared. And now that they're happening, I'm not going to hold on to this state of time continuing. That's the beauty of dancing with the rhythm of the drums that God provides. If it's thundering, you don't complain that it's thundering. If it's winter, you enjoy the cold. When it's summer, you find a lake, right? You adapt. I think there's nothing more powerful for humanity than being adaptable. How do you adapt? You have to be aware of when you're not flexible. That means mentally, right? When you have beliefs, certain religion is above another religion, that is a belief that is limited. If you don't understand it, maybe you will in another life. Maybe you will in 10 years. Maybe you will in 10 minutes. Maybe at the end of this video, you'll understand. But see, I don't control that. I don't control when you understand. Fact is, if you're interested in this, that means you're somehow walking. Because someone who's just scrolling TikTok all day is not going to stay on a video like this because we're talking depth. A lot of humanity's been programmed to be shallow. Interpersonal relationships is the world's a mirror, so what happens when you're present with another is you say the right things at the right time usually, or you understand that it's time to listen, right? And there's that saying, right? If you don't have anything true to say, nice. If you don't have anything true to say, don't speak. If your words are not more beautiful than silence, do not speak. Here I am, I'm speaking. Hopefully, people can hear the freedom which flows through this vessel. It's not all the time. I can't act as if I'm a beacon of perfection. I'm not trying to be perfect. You know what I'm doing? I'm letting my own illusions be dissipated through doing my best each and every day to listen to the flute, which is God. The ego can sometimes sound like the trumpet, where you see shiny objects, your mind gets loud, need to do this, need to get this, or shiny avenues, right? Stay the course, listen to your heart, and trust that by living in alignment, by questioning your illusion, by living honest, by treating others how you would like to be treated, by fully embodying truth, you will create a new road for humanity. It's through surrendering your will that God's will flows through you. To understand that there isn't a place for seeking self-centered. Somehow, some way, we have to get good at living a vulnerable life, which means that you are not living in security. You're actually living a unknown life where you really cannot predict your future. Most people can't predict their future. Most people, you hear this quote, they die at 25, meaning they lock themselves in a prison of security, the job, mundane habits, mechanical routines, never changing. And they're not buried till 75, but they've been dead for 50 years by the time they're buried. We're looking at what you can do to create a life that is spontaneous and vital. A life where the only constant is change. You observe your attachments, you question your beliefs, and you crack open your stagnant ideology. Yep. Forgive me. Ha ha! Your worldviews. Your worldviews. And as you question and live with sensitivity, life gets clear to you. You're no longer stuck thinking, doubting, second guessing, seeking security. You still will have moments where the mind's thought will come up, but then you kind of get quicker at dissipating that stagnation. And that means you act. You just do it. You think strategically. I'm not saying you act reckless, you create havoc. I'm not saying you're chaotic. I'm saying you can read between the lines of your energy and sense stagnation before it's gotcha. You can feel you're meant to walk away before something explodes. Some people build fancy stuff like clairvoyance. This is about you embodying awareness and noticing how powerful you are in relationship to humanity's trajectory. I'm speaking to younger me, current me, and you, because we are the same. Now, I'm Justin Matthew Egliskis. You may be blank, blank, blank. Heck, that doesn't matter. It's just a name. Particles, energetically, elementally, we're all the same. So can we act like that? Can we live like that? Can we stop judging another? Can we think of others as we would like to think of ourselves? Can we look at others as we'd like to look at ourselves? If you don't want people to stare at you, don't stare at other people. Very simple. If you don't want someone to talk to you in a certain manner, don't speak to others in that certain manner. If you don't want people to judge you in a certain way, don't judge others in that way. It doesn't come from saying, why do people judge me? It comes from looking at the fact that you're making those judgments. And that's why you feel judged. The world's a mirror. So wake up to those harsh truths, which is you create via the thought, and then it becomes the word. So it's important for us to be conscious of the words we use and how we use them. Energy and emotion, they're the same thing. Energy equals energy, or emotion equals energy in motion. It's just like, it sounds a little nifty and drop it there. That doesn't mean I'm smart. I didn't come up with jack shit. This is a lot of awakening. I'm saying things that most people may not understand nor comprehend, but I'm not special. I'm not more intelligent than anyone else. The last thing I desire is to be above another. How, that's the lowest thing you could ever seek, is to be above another. I get disgusted with certain levels of ego because it's so limited and weak, and it's not what humanity needs. Obviously, if you have no ego, then you don't have humanity. So we need ego in the sense of it's how we're here. But can you see that we're here for a meaning? And the meaning behind why humanity is here is change. I feel that loophole is each and every individual on this planet realizing that we're one and then living and embodying truth. Then we have a world which is beautiful. See, that's the trap though. The world's already beautiful. You don't got to wait for that. I'm not special. I'm not bringing something forth. Maybe, okay, so I was born at 11/11 on Valentine's Day on 1999. To me, those numbers speak. They mean something. Doesn't mean I'm special because I didn't choose that. That was cosmic, right? So maybe there's like a cosmic wink on the guy. And that's also why I understand not everyone is meant to comprehend this message today. I've been putting out videos for years. I'm yet to blow up. So what? It'll reach the right people at the right time, and I can guarantee you that. Maybe it's after I'm dead. Maybe the blow up happens after I'm dead. Who do I care? The message will get out. And that's something that I can't refute. Like, I know that I have to share this. I know it. How? It's just on my heart. I didn't choose this path. Younger Justin sees me now. I would have no idea how I am who I am in terms of like here. Like athlete, all right, I get that. Certain external things, I get that. But, it's a beautiful life. So let's make it beautiful. I think that's really the wrap-up point. Look at your personal relationships and do unto others as you'd like done to you. Embody that on the microscopic level. Make it extremely practical in your life, in your family, in your workplace, when you walk down the street. When you see someone who may be visibly unattractive, I love you. I love you. You're strong, you're beautiful. Someone somehow will find them beautiful. When you reframe that for yourself energetically, you realize life isn't just about appearances. Sure, appearance matters, but you can't control everything, right? You were dealt certain cards. For me, this awareness, this sensitivity feels like a curse. I just know that's the weakness. I've seen the weakness in myself enough. And I know that I'll carry this until the day I die, and I'll do it to the best that I can. And that's for you, that's for me, that's for us. We're the same on that level. I love you. I care for you so much. Share this with a friend. Check the link down below if you'd like to work one-on-one. Shoot me an email. Let's go.